How would you like to give somebody $2.72 and they gave you back $134 in return? Not a bad ROI, is it? Well, that's what I'm doing right now with using a strategy with perfect audience. I'm doing a very small test strategy, and I am super excited. Okay, this is Keith Krantz with Dominate Web Media, and what I'm going to show you right now is really a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough in a lot of different ways, but this is going to work for you whether you're already getting a lot of traffic to your website or to your blog, a lot of free traffic, a lot of paid traffic, or if you're a brand new business. So it doesn't matter if you're a brand new business, medium-sized business, or a large-sized business, and I'm going to show you exactly why in the rest of this video. Let me explain to you as I show you exactly what I mean. But I'm calling it the Facebook promoted post retargeting loop strategy. And this little mind map you're seeing right here looks very simple, but it's game changing. Okay, this will literally take any brand new business and explode it. This will take an existing business, a small business, a medium-sized business, or a large business, or a big brand, and grow a lot faster than they're growing now. And more importantly, get more conversions. So get more ROI on all the content that's being created. This is a way to get people out there to see your high value content and to bring them back to buy your product much quicker. Okay, it's basically speeding up the whole process, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean. But there's some psychological factors that come into play that are huge here, and it's all about having the right kind of process, and it's awesome and it's working. So let me explain what I mean. Typically, I run a lot of Facebook ads with different clients, okay? Big name clients, people like, Steve Harrison and Jack Canfield, the author of All the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and my stuff, and some other people like, Perry Marshall now, who's the world's number one authority on Google AdWords and pay-per-click training, and lots of local businesses and stuff like that. And typically with Facebook ads, what we'll do is we love Facebook ads because it's easy to find our exact ideal target audience. Somebody that likes maybe a business owner, for example, that lives in a certain area or is a certain age. We typically try to find people that are more affluent and older, like 45 years old and up and stuff, because there's more buyers in those groups. But anyways, typically we'll send people to like a landing page, like something like a registration for a webinar. Okay, like one of my webinars. We'll send them to like a squeeze page for my Facebook checklist, and then they'll get access to that free. And then after on the thank you page, or after a few emails, they will get offered more advanced training to pay a price. Or like with one of my clients here, that they give people access to some free video trainings with Jack Canfield, the author of All the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And then eventually they get taken to a teleseminar where they can buy $1,000 product. And then you have like e-commerce companies where it's tough. If you have an e-commerce company and you're selling a product, you can't take somebody from Facebook when they're sitting there in a social environment, they're not looking to buy something, right to a product page. They won't buy. Okay, it's tough. You have to be able to figure out how to offer people value, and not sell to them right away. And sometimes it's tough to do without taking a long time. Okay, so what I'm going to explain to you right now is how I have been able to use Facebook new features with promoted posts and page post ads combined with retargeting with perfect audience, and make this loop where we can get people in the right, meet people where they're at in Facebook. Let me explain to you without so you can actually understand this. So this is it basically. For example, what I do traditionally a lot of times we'll drive people to like a landing page or an offer or a sales page, right here. But in this case, what I want to explain to you is a different strategy. I want to take a piece of content. So let's say you write an article or a blog post, a video that maybe is a blog post, a podcast, a slide share, anything. Or you take previous blog posts that you've written over the last couple years, okay? And then what you do is you use those because it's good content that people enjoyed. And then what you do is you basically post it up as a blog post. Then you post it up as a status update on your Facebook page. Then whether you have a lot of fans or not, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to run page post ads like I show in a lot of my more advanced trainings, okay? Sidebar in the news feed, lots of different ninja strategies. And you'll run these page post ads to your exact target audience, okay, to this high value like blog post. Okay, so for example, let's look at my page. This is one I just did a couple nights ago. Okay, and on Sunday night, I did podcast 11 is online 5 Facebook changes that will transform any business. Okay, so you click on this, and then what I did was I just spent like 35, 50 bucks on promoting this post because I'm not super active on Facebook as far as just status updates and stuff. I'm really, really busy working on all my clients' stuff. Okay, so I'll promote a post. So if somebody sees that either on the side over here or inside the middle of the news feed, they'll click on it and it'll take them to this blog post where I've got a great video talking about these strategies all these new strategies that Facebook has recently enabled us to do, and it made it way easier to be more successful and get some awesome ROI on Facebook ads. Okay, so guess what happens then? Well, if somebody's on my site, and a lot of people, anybody that has a good blog will have somewhere on the sidebar where they can opt in to join their newsletter. Okay, I have a button here that takes them to a place they can opt in to get my free Facebook checklist. So I've also got here that takes people to a sales page. Okay, and at the bottom of my post, I've got another opt-in. Okay, it'll pull up in a second here. I've got an opt-in here. You want to have this at the bottom of your post if you don't now, always. Okay, it's nice and clean. It pops up at the bottom. So guess what happens? 10, 20%, people will end up opting into your list where you can build a relationship and then eventually bring them back. So if you sell fitness equipment, for example, you might have an article on weight loss or an article on how to relieve back pain. And then they come and they read your high value article, and they might, hopefully, if you have a good reason for them to join your list, they'll join your list and then eventually come back and buy a product, right? And that's how it works. Now, with my Facebook promoted post retargeting loop, what you do is you use perfect audience and you have a retargeting pixel site wide. So when somebody comes to your site and they leave and they go off to any other website or they go back to Facebook that day or the next week, you have an ad that goes up and shows to only people that have visited your site. So basically what happens is there's a cookie. It's a piece of code kind of is dropped on the browser of that person's computer. Okay. And you've probably seen these ads if you've been to any big shopping sites and then left and then you're like, whoa, why is that ad for Nordstrom on the sidebar of YouTube? That's what that is basically. It's a retargeting. Well, now you can actually do this with Facebook. Okay. So somebody leaves this the next day. Then what I do is I have an ad that says get the Facebook checklist. Okay. It's not taking them to a product yet. It's taking them to my free offer. And then on the thank you page, they get the opportunity to buy into my more advanced training or, on the follow-up sequences of emails. So what happens is, let's go back to this. What happens is now you run a promoted post, but you're running it to a high value, no pitch. You're not selling anything. Okay. So you're meeting people on Facebook. You're providing value. You're not selling anything. It's okay to run a page post ad. Half the people don't even know, and who cares? They're like, well, that's cool. They're running that, just to teach me stuff. So they go to your website, they read it, they bounce off. The next day, they see one of your ads to join your email list, or maybe it's a discount on one of your products or something like that too. Either one. And then they come back and they join your list and they buy your product. Okay, so if you look at this map, here's how it goes. Article is posted. Somebody comes then on your site. Then you post it to Facebook as a status update, and then you run a promoted post or page post ad. Okay, somebody will click on that, come to your blog, and if you have your blog or your website set up right, hopefully they'll join your list. They'll become a lead right there, and then end up going into your email autoresponder sequence and then buying a product, right? Percentage of people will. Great. Now, for those, which is the majority, that bounces off your site and leaves, now they're going to go off to the rest of the internet and they're going to go back to Facebook and stuff. You have an ad that's automatically shown to them via perfect audience. Okay. I'll show you how to sign up with that in a second right here. That shows up only to people that have visited your site. Okay. So this is very highly targeted, and they can show up on the sidebar, which is a marketplace ad, or very shortly, we're going to be able to show these in the newsfeed, okay, which is about 10 cents a click. And then what happens is they join your list and buy. How do I know this works? I just switched over from AdRoll, which is a remarketing, retargeting company to Perfect Audience because it's really, really geared for Facebook, and it's awesome, and it's really user friendly. Literally after just a few days of starting a test campaign with Perfect Audience, you'll see here I've got $134 in conversion value, 9 conversions, and 4 clicks at a total cost of $2.72. And you might be thinking, why was there 4 clicks and 9 conversions? That doesn't make sense. Well, guess what? 7 of these were opt-ins to my free Facebook checklist, and 2 of these conversions were conversions to my course, where people can access my live course, the recorded version of my entire Facebook Blueprint training that has just tons and tons of advanced trainings. And the rest of those conversions are called view-through conversions. What happens is when people will see your ad and then they'll go back to your website, they'll just type it in. And so that's called a view-through conversion, which is really, really cool. So you get this great branding play here but it's a way more than branding, of course, because you have a system and you have an offer that you're telling people to, or they might go check their email or something like that if they already opted in. There's just lots of different ways, but the point is $2.72, $134 in revenue, and it's awesome. It's just a way to get people back. So what I did was I basically just posted this one, May 12th, okay? I ran like $35 in the first day of ads to this just to get some traffic. Okay, there's a lot of other benefits when it comes to SEO and stuff like that here, and I'll touch on. Okay, but I'm not running ads to a squeeze page, which is okay. I do that a lot. You still should. Okay, but this is it's good for SEO. You want people coming from social sites. Google loves it. As long as you have the share icons like I do here, people will share it. You'll get high quality, natural inbound links coming into your site. Okay. But then what happens is they leave, and now the next day or two they see an ad and like, oh yeah, it's that Keith guy or it's that company that I just watched this cool video on their site. Yeah, I'll check it out and I'll opt in. Boom. Look at this. Just 2 clicks, and out of those 2, 1 purchase, $67. Okay. This is not running ads to a squeeze page or anything like that, which like I said, it's totally separate that you should still do. This is running ads to a trust building, high value video, 15-minute video where I'm giving a lot of tips. Okay. Any business can do this. You can take older posts that you've done and promote them on Facebook and then have a retargeting pixel in place. It's not hard to set up. And I've actually got a link where you can sign up for Perfect Audience right here. I've got a link where you can get $70 in free credit. So you can basically run $70 worth of clicks. And that's a lot because these are only shown to people that have visited your site. They're not shown anywhere else. Okay. So basically you just go here and you click start your free trial and you enter your name, email, and password. And then it's really easy. You just basically set up a Facebook ad and they do it for you. You don't even have to go into your ad manager inside of Facebook. You do it right in Perfect Audience. And I'll have that in more other of my trainings, but I'm not going to go through that in this video. But, then what happens is you've got this loop. So you're speeding up the process. You're meeting people on Facebook. Instead of trying to sell to them, you're building value, you're building trust. Then they leave. Then you bring them back. If they haven't already joined your list, you bring them back and you get all these other ancillary benefits because now you're getting SEO benefits. You're getting your other pages, more content, more time on site, people coming from different areas. And check this out. I don't have a huge audience yet. Okay, my audience is building fast. But this is now this has been a couple more days since I did this, but literally after a day and a half, I had about 50 likes and 50 shares, and that was running $35-40 in Facebook ads. Okay, that's a lot. Typically, you need to have a list of at least 10,000 or 20,000 pretty active subscribers, email subscribers, to be able to get that many shares and likes on something. I was able to do that instantly with my page post ads. Okay. Now, this is why I love this, because it doesn't matter where you're at in your business. If you want to launch a new business, this is the fastest way to launch a new business. Get your blog posts out there, getting read by your exact ideal audience, as long as you know how to target, and everything well. And some of these advanced ninja strategies that we're using when it comes to page post ads, Facebook offers, promoted posts, newsfeed only, stuff like that. But, if you can't tell already, I'm really, really excited about this because if you're one of my clients watching this right now, which this is stuff that we're rolling out literally for Jack Canfield himself. Okay. They've got 230,000 fans, but they're not doing the stuff that we're doing. So we're gonna be using all their great articles that they've used and blowing them up and having the retargeting in there, and they bring them to their offers after they get warmed up after a couple days. So it's just really cool. It meets people where they're at, where they're ready, and then it also speeds up the whole process to get them into your sales funnel, and that's the whole goal, right, for your business. So if you can do this, then you can actually afford to scale up even more, increase your budget, because you're getting an ROI now within 2 to 3 to 5 days, and you're breaking even, you're profiting on that. Then you can just continue to build that list fast and build sales to be able to cover your ad spend and profit. And then of course, all those people that are coming onto your list, it's going to be more and more profit down the road as you offer them different various products and stuff. So all right, so cool. Hopefully that was helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and please share it, like it, comment. If you're listening to my podcast, please comment on my podcast. Please give me a review or a comment. So I will talk to you soon.